After committing the crime, he didn't run, he didn't hide. Instead, he destroyed his own face with his own hands. This is the story of a man who didn't just try to escape justice, he tried to erase himself completely. But what he did only made the truth harder to ignore. To everyone around him, he seemed ordinary, quiet, reserved. The kind of person you wouldn't think twice about. But behind that silence, there were signs, subtle changes, unusual behavior, things that didn't quite make sense. And over time, those small details began to build into something darker. Then one day, everything changed. A crime was committed. Brutal, sudden, and deeply unsettling. There was no clear motive at first, no immediate suspect, just a scene that raised more questions than answers. In the hours that followed, there was no panic, no rushed escape. Instead, there was silence, and then a decision no one could have predicted. Rather than running, he turned on himself. He began to damage his own face deliberately, slowly, violently, changing the way he looked. It wasn't just an attempt to hide. It was something deeper, something far more disturbing. Was it fear? Was it guilt? Or something else entirely? A complete break from reality, a desperate attempt to become someone else, or no one at all. But no matter how much he tried to change, the truth remained. Investigators began to connect the pieces, small details, inconsistencies, patterns that couldn't be ignored. And eventually, they found him. In the end, he couldn't escape what he had done. Not by running, not by hiding, and not even by destroying his own face, because some actions leave marks far deeper than the surface. But to understand why he did this, we need to go back to the beginning. Before the crime, before the violence, he lived a life that seemed completely normal. There was nothing that made him stand out. No obvious warning signs, no clear indication of what he would become. He kept to himself, rarely drawing attention, quiet, almost invisible, the kind of person people tend to overlook. But over time, something began to change. Small things at first, barely noticeable. His behavior, his way of thinking, even the way he interacted with others, it all started to shift. Not suddenly, but slowly, like something building just beneath the surface. Until one day, that pressure finally broke. The crime itself was sudden, but it wasn't random. There was intent, there was control, and there was a level of violence that shocked everyone. What made it even more disturbing was how calm everything seemed after it was over. No panic, no desperate escape, just silence. And then he made a decision that would define the entire case. Instead of running, he chose to stay. And instead of hiding, he turned on himself. He began to damage his own face, not once, but repeatedly. It wasn't rushed, it wasn't chaotic, it was deliberate, as if he was trying to erase the person he used to be. But no matter how much he changed, the past couldn't be undone. Investigators began to piece things together, following small details, tracing movements. And despite everything, despite the damage, in the end, he didn't escape. Not from the crime, and not from himself. They found him, connecting the dots,